I can take that back to OGAPS, and I can discuss with Dr. Butler Perry on what's happening with the departments and learn more of the issues that's going on in your departments. So I'll leave my email at the end of the chat, or somehow I'm going to get my email to y'all. Please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to set up a meeting and discuss your issues further. Moving on, late fees updates. All PhD students who have been appointed as GATs, GALs, and GARs have been removed the late fees without having to fill out the form. A lot of students are appointed by particular departments. Now, these could be master students, these could be PhD students, these could be other positions in which the department has promised to pay your fees. And in case you think your fees hasn't been paid of time and you have been charged wrongly, OGAPS has sent everyone a form to fill out for reimbursements. So if you didn't get the form, or if you didn't get the email from OGAPS, please let me know. I would like to report that and help you if you need any help in that issue. So moving on, we know that we have a presidential search going on. I'm going to give a little context before I'm going to talk about my third point. We have a presidential search going on, and as you all are aware, there's only one student representative, and so to speak, the student representation is more inclined towards the representation of undergraduate students, and not particularly graduate student interest in the presidential total brain fart presidential search. So the university president is the face of the university and plays an important role in where the university heads. And it is important that we have our opinion expressed, and not just, and this is one such issue where graduate student opinions might not be entirely being accommodated, and that is important that it is very important that we work with our undergraduate counterparts, the SGA, to ensure that our voices are being amplified and being represented by the administration in places where we are not having that position. An MOU will help us set this process up and ensure that all graduate voices are being represented. And we would need help from some senators to further this process. So if anyone is interested, I cannot emphasize enough how important this is for ensuring graduate student voices are represented in all places. So I would highly encourage senators to reach out to us and let us know if they're interested in working with us. Moving on, so currently OGAPS is presenting a request for a rule change. It could be overwhelming for you to go through the meeting, but just to summarize, students who have gotten a grade of C have an opportunity to improve their grade. What happens is, if you repeat the course and you get a C, the previous credits still stick, and thereby dipping your GPA. And the more number of times you repeat, and if the process of getting C's is just getting repeated, your GPA is further dipping because there's no replacement happening. And this rule actually ensures that the last grade sticks around. It would be very important to express this is in the best interest of graduate students, and I've attached the link for all of y'all to go through the rule, and y'all can feel free to reach out to me. But one of our powerful mediums is a resolution. So passing a resolution in support of this rule change will give us a very strong tool to lobby for getting this rule change done. Feel free to go through that rule at a time that is convenient to you, and I would be more than happy to clarify any doubts that you have regarding that rule. And offering a point of clarification for spring planning, there's not going to be any increase in the number of face-to-face classes that are going to happen on campus. What's going to happen is some departments are going to, some professors and some departments are going to request for face-to-face teaching because maybe some of the GATs can, what do you call, testify for this, that teaching in a hybrid medium is very tough. Preparing for both online classes and offline classes is double the amount of work, and both faculty and some GATs have expressed the exhaustion of preparing for the classes. And there's not, so in order to accommodate that, there's going to be some professors who's going to request face-to-face classes, but there is not going to be any increase in the number of face-to-face classes when in comparison to the fall. So in case y'all have any doubts regarding sprint planning, if you think there has to be something that has to go to the Sprint Planning Commission in order to ensure that the graduate voices are being represented, feel free to reach out to me. And please reach out to me sooner rather than later, because the inputs are going to be finalized very soon, and we don't want to waste your valuable inputs. That concludes all my reports.
Thank you, Tej. If anybody has any questions for our student body president, you can email him. And if anyone's interested in the resolution piece that he talked about, send me an email if you'd like, and I could help you all get started on that process. We have 2 new members of GPSG that are joining us. Would Pranjal, correct me if I'm wrong in the pronunciation, Pranjal Awasthi is slated to be our new Student Research Week Director. Would you care to introduce yourself to the Senate?
Hello everyone, this is Pranjal, and great to meet all of you. I am the new Student Research Week Director, and it's really an honor meeting the Senate for the first time. This is my first time I'm actually coming in front of all of you, and I really look forward to working with all of you and seeking your support in the Student Research Week, since this year it's a relatively ingenious undertaking because we're trying to make SRW as good as possible given the present circumstances, and I feel that our partnership should go a long way, and I hope it will do.
Thank you, Pranjal. And if anyone has any questions about Student Research Week, Pranjal's email is hyperlinked under his name there. Next, we have Dr. Rajesh Miranda from the Department of Neuroscience. And Dr. Miranda is now going to be our GPSG liaison to the Faculty Senate. And Dr. Miranda, if you'd care to introduce yourself to the Senate.
Hello, everyone. And I wanted to thank Uttaj and Rio for reaching out to the Faculty Senate and getting us involved. And this is the first time I think I'm here to learn from you and to to serve as a direct conduit to the Faculty Senate. If you have any concerns or issues that are really important to you, you can either directly. I'm very open to you coming to me directly if you want to, and I will take your concerns to the Senate. I am a PhD student a fairly long time ago, so but I have some memory of what it was like when I was a graduate student, and I'm happy to help in any way that I can.
Dr. Miranda, thank you so much for your introduction. To the attendees in this meeting, you're all welcome to unmute and give welcome to both of these new members if you'd like.
Welcome. You're welcome.
Howdy.
Welcome.
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 Howdy.
Howdy.
Welcome.
Welcome.
A very warm group we are.
Howdy, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much to both of you, and we look forward to working with you. Next, we can pass it over to our VP for Finance, Deborah Martogi.
Hi, all. I just want to have some update. On the link there, I have the budget for our fiscal year 21, which is like basically next August, which is the term that we are at right now. And basically the way that the budget goes this year, due to the reduction in money coming in, about 7% from the state, our budget is also reduced by 7%. So aligning with that, I just adjusted what we have before last year to the new budget, basically, that was allocated. So half of our budget allocation is gonna go into our operational, which is gonna go into our programming, scholarship, with exception to the travel awards or the virtual conference awards. And the other half is going to go into our executive programming. These are a similar way was set up to previous years. It's just I have to readjust the numbers depending on how we will go with all of this COVID-19 situation. We may not even exhaust every balance that we have here. And I am very flexible with playing around with the budget allocation as you all need it. So that's the first update that I have. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to me. And the next update that I have is yesterday, I think SAFAB, which is the Student Affairs Fee Advisory Board, they sent out a form about a proposal from different parts of the departments. And along with that, they also have like our proposal for the continuation of funding the Student Research Week Director, so that position can still be in a GA position, so the person being in that position can still be funded continuously. So, and these are all of the list of other programs if you want to look into the proposals. So if you have any feedback about these proposals, at the bottom of the page there is a feedback form that you can fill in to provide some of your comments about all of this proposal, including ours. So those are all of the feedback that I have. Please reach out to me if you have any questions.
Thank you, Deb. We can now pass it over to our VPI, Rohan Wilco.
I am actually the GPSG representative for the Sustainability Advisory Council. So my first couple of updates are from there. So the month of October is the Texas A&M University Virtual Earth Month. If you go to the link, you may see a series of talks, webinars, panel discussions. So if you are interested, please go and attend them. And moving on to the second point, the Aggie Green Fund is accepting application for grants. There are two different kinds of grants, macro grants and micro grants. You may find further details in the link provided in the agenda. And moving on, finally, so I had shared a mental health survey the last Senate meeting. Although we have received some responses, but the responses is quite low. We would like to have more number of responses. So I have kept this Google form active for another week, another 2 weeks. So the deadline right now is October 16th, 5 p.m. So it is my humble request to all of you to please pass it on to your departments so that we can have as many responses as possible. And it will help us, it will eventually help us come up prepared with a better resolution. So please pass it on. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Rohan. We can now pass it over to our VP for University Affairs, Chandler Wilkins.
All right, hey everybody. So the first thing that I have, you see in point A, are the internal committee assignments. If you do not know your committee or do not remember your committee, just take a look at that link, and that's the most updated list that we have for who is sitting where. So just refer to that when it comes time for the committee times, and you'll see which committee that you're on. If for some reason you have not yet filled out the committee internal committee preference survey. You can complete it there with point B. You do not need to do it again if you've already completed it. You can check if you already completed it by looking at the point in point A to see if you're assigned to a committee. If you're assigned to a committee, that means you filled it out. If not, then you haven't filled it out yet. And the final point is the external committee sign-up sheet. We still have a few more external committees that you can sit on, and I urge you please to look through these, see which ones fit into your availability or pique your interest, and go ahead and follow the instructions and put your comment for your name and email address there. It's really important that we have graduate students sitting on these committees because they do request our presence, and it's really important that we have a seat at the table for a lot of these discussions. Yeah, and that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandler. Next, we can move on to the reports of our committee chairs. First up is CJ, our Legislative Affairs Chair.
Howdy, everyone. I wanted to give you all a couple quick legislative updates that I'm passing along from SAGE. For those of you that don't know, oh, hold on, go back to the agenda, Rio, if you could. Yeah, okay. For those of you that don't know, SAGE is Student Advocates for Graduate Education. It's a national coalition of graduate schools, of which A&M is an active member. So the first legislative update I wanted to pass on was the recent executive order on race-related trainings that came out of the White House a few days ago, maybe, or last week or so. This executive order does pretty much what it says. It effectively requires federal agencies to suspend diversity training programs. I linked it, the full text of it there. You're welcome to read it at your own time. It's lengthy, full of, all the fancy words that politicians like to use. If you're interested, I believe the University of North Carolina Chapel Hill History Department put out a statement on this that I can pass along. Otherwise, I'll move on to my next point. The second policy I wanted to update you all on is a new proposal from the Department of Homeland Security that proposes to change the admission period structure for F, J, and I non-immigrants. Typically, F and J non-immigrants are international students and exchange students. So this is something I felt was very pertinent to graduate and professional students here at Texas A&M and at universities across the country. If these proposals went through, it would essentially change the structure of these visas from allowing admission or allowing recipients to remain in the United States so long as they meet the criteria of their visa. It would end that and change it to a finite amount of time, which is either the length of your program or 4 years, whichever comes first, with the potential to shorten that to 2, depending on things such as country of origin, citizenship, and accreditation of universities by the Secretary of Education. This is actually something SAGE has been very actively involved in, not specifically this policy, but this sort of discussion. I don't know if y'all remember over the summer, a similar policy was proposed in SAGE, of which I mentioned A&M as a member, had developed a whole sort of action plan to call Congress, write to the representatives, email campaigns. Fortunately, over the past summer, it was not needed. The policy was sort of dead on arrival, was not passed, was not adopted. However, this one, as of right now, is still very much on the table. And because of this, various universities and university coalitions across the country are proposing Monday, this upcoming Monday, the date of which escapes me at the moment, be used as sort of a call Congress day, where graduate students, whether you're directly affected by this policy or not, contact your representatives in Congress and tell them essentially how you feel about this and where you stand on it as a graduate and professional student. If this is something you're interested in doing, I have information on that. I have like a template sort of form if you want to email them or call them or what have you. So just let me know. You all have my email. If not, it's on the GPSG website. But yeah, let me know if that's something you're interested in doing. I will be partaking in it to various extents. But yes, that's all I have to say on that policy. The last thing I wanted to touch on in my section, and you said brought this up earlier, is this Friday will be the student forum for the Texas A&M University presidential search. It's Friday, October 9th from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I don't have the link in the agenda, but we all should have received an email from University administration with that link. So I know I'll be there. I think Uted Shetty's going to be there. So if it's something you're interested in, even if you don't have anything to necessarily ask about at the forum, I definitely recommend going. It'll be an interesting time. And those are all of my updates.
Thank you, CJ. Next, we could move on to our community chair, Paloma.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say thank you for participating at the blood drive. We had 45 successful donations. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody, for being there. Yes, that's it.
That's really awesome. 45 donors is a lot. Good job, everybody. Next, we can move on to Christina, our Diversity, Inclusion, and International Affairs Chair.
Hey y'all, so interdisciplinary dinners, I know some of you are familiar with them. For others of you who aren't, it's just a dinner that's hosted every semester for graduate students from different departments to get to know each other and potentially collaborate on research, and it's hosted by a professor. And I think it's because of coronavirus. I've talked with several professors who said that coronavirus has packed their schedule more full because they've had to be at home with kids and that kind of stuff. So we're kind of hard pressed to find someone who'd be willing to host. It's going to be virtual because of the requirements around COVID. So it's less of a commitment that way. And we could even be creative and have maybe professors from different departments host the same meeting, but it would just be really helpful if you guys could pass along that information. I'm planning to send out an email to hopefully to all of you about that, and to give you the content that you can put in an email to professors. But if any of you know anyone in your department a professor who'd be willing to host that, just shoot me an email. That would be great.
Cool. Thank you, Christina. Next, we can move on to our Research and Grants Chair, Kat.
Howdy y'all, I am Kat if y'all haven't met me already. I'm the Research and Grants Committee Chair. I just wanted to make a quick announcement. My committee already knows, but I wanted to kind of open the opportunity for anyone who's interested. We have on our GPSG website a tab called Research Spotlight, where I'll be doing kind of like a little interview with anybody who wants to be kind of nominated or I guess just spotlighted on our website about their research. It could be a professor's research, or it could be the research you're doing yourself. But I wanted to open that opportunity to everybody in the Senate. So if you would like the opportunity to be featured on our website and have your research kind of put out there for other people to see, you can email me at gpsg.research@tamu.edu. I hopefully hyperlinked it correctly, but if not, you can reach out to anybody to get in contact with me. But that's all I had. Thank you.
Looks like Ellen has a question. How's it going, Ellen?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? Kat, quick question about the Research Spotlight. Is that something that, just to clarify, you're asking us as senators if we want to like email you, or is that something that we could also let our departments know and perhaps feature people in departments? Like what is the volume of, I guess, spotlights you're planning on doing?
Yeah, of course. You can let your departments know, your friends who might be in research project, really anybody. It's mainly just to get graduate students kind of recognition for their research and for other people to read about it. So you'll get like a short little blurb on our website about what you're doing and how it's contributing to your degree, whatever it might be that you want to put on there. And I'll write up a little paragraph about it and yeah, we can feature it on the website. So it's really open to any graduate, professional student. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks for the question, Ellen, and thank you, Kat, for the updates. Next, we could move on to RK, our Awards and Professional Development Chair.
Howdy all. First of all, the fall virtual conference awards. The review process is completed, and the winners will be notified tomorrow. One more. The second one is like the winter award. The fall virtual conference winter awards are open now. These will be open until 26th of the October. Both the application and the reference form should be completed by the 26th. For more details, you can follow us on our website.
Okay. Thank you, RK. Appreciate everybody's updates. Next, we're going to move into the committee meetings portion of this meeting now. I'm going to ask two things. One, your patience as we get you all assigned to your breakout rooms. And second, I'm going to ask again for you all to please remain for the duration of the meeting. So when that 20 minutes is up, I really hope you all come back because we have the resolution that we'd like to vote on. So with that, we're going to start assigning everybody to their breakout rooms.
Rio, just a small notice. I see Ellen's hand raised. Maybe she has a question.
I think that was
okay.
stuck from before, sorry.
No problem.
It was going to be great if Ellen had another question. She has good questions. Okay, now to those of you who do not have the committee letter after your usernames, could you please go ahead and change your display names to show that? Or just let me know which room you're supposed to go to right now.
Hey, Rio, do we need to do that as, I guess, GPSG chairs?
Sorry,
or...
sorry, Kat, I didn't see your name.
Okay, thank you.
I'm kicking you out, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, Rio. I'm new. This is my first meeting. So I just filled out the form to go ahead and be put on a committee, but as of right now, I don't have one. So
You should have received an email, Meredith.
Oh, cool. Let me look. Cool.
Rio, it looks like a few of them renamed themselves. I see a couple. Oh, good job.
Thanks, Nicole. Quick draw. Chandler, do you mind if I keep you in here for a second? for some of
that's
these
fine.
folks who haven't been assigned yet. Okay. Elizabeth, are you there?
Yeah, so everyone that, so I see someone else just went through, but everyone else who has, who signed up for a committee as of like 5 minutes ago have received an email, and it can be found also on the internal committee assignments form in the agenda.
Hey Rio, will you stick Aaron in his committee? I see him over there and here still.
Sure thing, Aaron.
Thank you.
Aaron, let's see. I'm not seeing, oh, here we go. Move to.
And then it looks like a Kate Hop also, she has C for community. I see her as well. Hey Blanca.
Hop, okay.
Hi.
Yeah, Aaron
Sorry.
looks like he's glitched right now.
Sad.
Yeah. Dang. Chandler, do you just want me to go ahead and send you to your committee now?
Let's one assigned in here.
Yeah, I can stay here for a little bit.
Oh, did Aaron finally go? Okay, Aaron finally went. You have a couple still unassigned.
Elizabeth has been assigned.
Okay.
I think she's in community, if I'm not mistaken.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm also new. Do I just like change to the name to like whatever I want, or should I send an email first?
Wait, so you already saw that you filled out the internal committee preference survey, and then I sent you an email. You talking about? Wait.
I'm having trouble finding a survey.
Blanca, it should be in the agenda.
Yeah.
Under Chandler, right? It's under you, Chandler?
Yeah, it's under mine. Sorry about that. I got people mixed up.
Let us know if you still have trouble, Blanca.
God, I just saw it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same here. I'm new and then I just submit the form and then I still haven't got the...
Yeah, give me a second. There was a flood of people that just sent it in.
Yeah, I just sent it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for your patience, everyone.
Nicole, do you think 17 minutes from this point would be enough time for everybody to meet?
Yeah, I think that's all right.
Okay, I'm going to send a little message to him then.
Chandler, you need any help finding their names or anything?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm almost done.
Okay. It looks like we have 3 left in this room still. I know you said Elizabeth was assigned. Elizabeth, can you hear us? Okay, Elizabeth is missing. But everyone else, it's just Blanca and Chihan.
So I'll just say it here. And I'll send the email right after this. But Blanca and Shihan are both in scholarship.
Perfect. Rio?
Sure. Thank you.
Appreciate that. That looks like all of them. Chandler, I'm going to send you to your committee.
Sounds good.
Okay, Rio, how do you feel about breakout rooms? Better?
Oh yeah. For some reason, when we started this meeting, it had saved a lot of the old memos. So like I didn't have to click me as many times. Basically.
That's good. If you, I don't, maybe we could test this out, but if you want, I don't know if you could share your screen and also give me the host assignment, but if you want, while you're like talking through the first part of the meeting, you can let me be the host and I can stick them in their rooms so we don't have to take the time to individually do it right now.
But
I don't think
could I test it?
We can test it obviously not right now, but
Okay.
Yeah, let's do something to test it, because I think you can put them in a room and then click go to your breakouts later. Like you should be able to do that.
Oh, that's what you mentioned last week.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then create the room. Creating the room is when it sends them out.
Yes. So you can place them in the room ahead of time, and then it won't take as much time to put them in the room as we go, and then they should all pop in the room at the same time.
Dang. Okay, my bad, Nicole.
No worries at all. We're working through it. But if you want, we can do that. So maybe we could test that out before the next Senate meeting.
Sure, that sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Pranjal, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I filled up the preference survey, but I don't know if I've been assigned to any group yet.
Yeah, I just saw you. You haven't indicated which one that you want to be sent to. You have two for. You haven't indicated like which one that you want the most. So we have advocacy, community, and scholarship. And you ranked advocacy and community with both twos.
So I could go to scholarship. I thought I ranked scholarship as 3. I think I might have.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so 1 was supposed to be like the highest of what you would want, and then 3 was the lowest, but you want scholarship.
Right. Okay, I thought it was like a scale of like 3 would be the highest. So I'd say scholarship. Scholarship would be number 1.
Scholarship. Okay. All right. So I'll do that now. I'll fix that. Cool. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Would you like me to send you to your breakout room now?
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Okay. Sounds good.
What about, I see McKenna now.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I have class from 3:15 to 6:15 and I just got out of it. We ran a little late. I think I'm in the advocacy committee. Let me
Okay.
double check. Let me make sure. Or I don't know if y'all, yeah, I think I'm in advocacy.
Okay, Rio.
Okay, we'll send you there. Hey, Nicole, who'd
Sorry, say that again.
you do your capstone with? Who'd you do your capstone with?
My capstone advisor was Dr. Kenny Taylor.
Oh, that's cool. I
But
like
my
him a lot.
capstone project was for the city of Bryan.
Oh, cool. What'd you guys do for him?
We measured income inequality and economic mobility, and then we did like a survey with the local nonprofit boards and local community members to figure out where their social services were lacking and where that like gap was and what they could do to help.
That's a really involved project.
It was cool. How's yours going?
Mine's going pretty well. Yeah,
Good.
it's I don't know, was Dr. Kenny Taylor good at building structure for you guys?
He really kind of let us roll with it, which was fun. But we were in like the consulting capstones, so yes, that was our structure. I don't know if y'all are doing those still.
Gotcha. Yeah, they're doing them. I'm not in a consulting capstone, but it looks like they have a lot of direction with it. Ours is kind of go with the flow, like you described, and it's a good thing
It's
and a
kinda
bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like as long as people take the initiative to make the structure, then it works fine.
Yes, I totally know what you're saying.
Yeah, it's been good though.
Good.
Hey, Nicole.
Yes.
Okay, quick question.
Mhm.
So I was moving really fast, and I saw that Pranjal is the Student Research Week director.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to be in the committee, does he?
I don't think so. I was gonna interrupt y'all, but I was like, if he wants to sit in one, that's fine. He can sit in one. So I'll talk to him. I don't know if he's in the office tomorrow. I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah, we can talk about it. But yeah, I was like, I thought about it and I was like, there's really no harm of him sitting in one. So
Didn't want to interrupt the groove.
yeah, I felt bad. I did, but I was like, I mean, if he wants to sit in one, it's really no harm. But because I was thinking too, if he ends up attending all the Senate meetings, why not sit in a committee? You know.
Yeah, doesn't hurt. All
So
right, cool.
I'll talk to him about it tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Phil, it's good to see you.
Hi, Rio.
Which committee are you in? You can catch the last 2 minutes if you want.
Ugh, I'm the worst. I am the awards and research with Kat.
Okay, I'm gonna send you there now.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, Phil.
Bye.
Hi, Sarah. What committee are you in? Hi, everybody. Looks like we're all back. Hope you enjoyed your time with your committees. Is Hunter in the chat?
Yes, howdy.
Hey, Hunter. We're going to navigate to this resolution. And a quick word about it. I sit on the Transportation Services Advisory Committee, And one student from our peers at SGA suggested that we rename a bus route known as Cotton Bowl in honor of Senator Matthew Gaines. So change it to the Gaines route. The Transportation Advisory Committee said if GPSG supports it, then pass the vote on, and that'll help sway them in whether to approve or deny this student's request to rename the bus route. So with that, Hunter Bell put a lot of work into writing this, and he is going to give it a read through for us.
Okay, y'all. So this is the resolution in support of renaming the bus route 36 in honor of Matthew Gaines. So introduced by me, Hunter Bell, GPSG Senator, School of Law, sponsored by Chandler Wiggins, Vice President and University Affairs. So whereas number one, Texas A&M University's Transportation Services is committed to providing safe and courteous and efficient transportation to students, faculty, staff, and visitors to the Texas A&M University campus. Whereas two, Texas A&M University's Transportation Services carries more than 7.5 million riders per year with an average of 18,000 on-campus riders per day in 2019. Whereas three, Cotton Bowl is no longer one of Texas A&M's bowl games as of current. And whereas four, State Senator Gaines was integral to the 12th Texas legislators' passage of Senate Bill 276, which created the Agricultural and Mechanical College of Texas under the Land-Grant College Act of 1862, also known as the Morrill Act. And whereas five, the percentage of Black students on Texas A&M's campus in the fall of 2018 was 3.47%. And whereas six, part of Texas A&M's President Michael K. Young's 10-part action plan to improve race relations on A&M's campus honored Matthew Gaines. And whereas seven, since 2017, the mission of the Matthew Gaines Society at Texas A&M has been to honor the contributions of Senator Matthew Gaines to Texas A&M and to demonstrate that any Aggie, regardless of race, gender, ethnicity, religion, or background, can make a lasting impression and impact on our campus. So let it be resolved that GPSG requests that the Transportation Services Advisory Committee vote to approve the renaming of Bus Route 36 from Cotton Bowl to Gaines, in honor to support Matthew Gaines' contribution to Texas A&M and Texas public education and public services as a whole. And resolve two, this copy of this resolution shall be posted and delivered to the following.
Thank you, Hunter.
Yes, sir.
With that, if anybody has any questions for Hunter, or any comments on the resolution, you're welcome to Alt-Y, raise your hand, and then unmute. Looks like Aaron would like to make a comment.
Yeah. I just have a question. Has this been put to the undergraduate student body to get their take on this proposal?
Yes. So there is a folder in the Senate Drive for this meeting, the GPSG meeting, that has handouts and materials. And in that, you'll see a copy of the letter that the Transportation Committee sent to us. And that very letter was also sent to the SGA. It was sent to, I believe, 2 or 3 other large student organizations on campus. So specifically, this resolution is just for the graduate students' input.
Okay, thank you.
Whoever else has their hand raised, I can't see it on my screen right now. Feel free to chime in.
Howdy, this is Jayton.
Hey, Jayton.
I just wanted to clarify with a few of the points for the whereas number 3, with the Cotton Bowl no longer being A&M's bowl games. I completely stand with all of the other points. I feel like that one is just kind of a that one's just kind of not. It's not necessarily true. A&M still participates in the Cotton Bowl, and they hold many records within it. I would either say with the possibility of removing this one or re-clarifying the importance of Cotton Bowl not being a tradition or being a consistent A&M tradition, whereas Matthew Gaines would suffice and take the place of this.
Yeah, of course. So first and foremost, it's not supposed to replace Cotton Bowl in any way of like being a tradition or anything. It's just to honor Matthew Gaines. And in the email that I was sent, one of the points from transportation was that Cotton Bowl was no longer one of the games. So I went ahead and provided that in the resolution. I tried to find a fact or like, that one was kind of tricky. So I do kind of agree with you. But I did find online that they haven't played them or played in the Cotton Bowl in about 10 years. So that's why I added as of current. But I do agree that that one's not that strong. So we can go ahead and edit that or take it out if y'all feel necessary.
I just didn't know if the whereases needed to be polished up and like a legitimate thing. That was the only one that really kind of raised a flag as far as the point that we're trying to make as to why we're doing this resolution. Otherwise, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful resolution. I fully support it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I know. I appreciate it. I did feel that one was kind of iffy. But like I said, it was in the email from transportation. It was one of the points that they had made and an opinion on their own. So I went ahead and included their own opinion in the resolution. But you can definitely take it out if there's no like hardcore like fact. Then that's fine.
So thank you both, Peyton and Hunter, for that. Before we move into the revision phase of this, we are still collecting general comments from the Senate body. I noticed that our parliamentarian had his hand raised. Nathan, would you?
Okay, so I'm just going to hop in real quick. Since we haven't put it to the floor yet, Jaden, what you can do is what's called a friendly amendment, which is generally clarification of rules a little bit further. What a general, like a friendly amendment would be just a changing of wording. What I'd recommend actually is once we get it, once you have a motion on the floor, then you can propose an amendment, because this would be more than just clarification. So we have to actually get to the floor before we start making changes to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so wait till it gets to the floor and then declare a friendly amendment?
No, just a regular amendment.
Amendment.
So at this point, someone could propose what's called a friendly amendment. And what a friendly amendment is, hey, this wording doesn't make any sense, let's change it to this. And then the person who, at that point, the proposer, Hunter, can say, yes, you're right, let's make that change. And Hunter has the right to make that change to it. But this will be a little bit more than that. So you want to wait until there's a motion on the floor, then you can propose an amendment. If someone seconds it, discussion, vote, so on and so forth. Just for our clarification of how to kind of run that.
Wonderful. I felt like I was kind of walking that fine line there a little bit. And so thank you so much for that input.
No problem.
Would you like to say anything? So Nathan, to make sure I understand this, Peyton will move to amend that clause within the resolution, and then we'll go through the second and voting process.
Yeah, well, we have to put it on the floor. It hasn't been motioned and seconded yet. We're not like we're too early. Does that make sense? So you had it. You had it read.
Yes.
And then someone has to make a motion to actually put the resolution on the floor, and then Jayton can propose an amendment to change that wording. And then if someone seconds that, so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, we haven't brought it to the floor yet. Thank you. Yep. Who else has their hand raised that hasn't spoken yet?
Hi, this is McKenna. For some reason, mine's not giving me an option to raise my hand. But if it's okay, to y'all's point on whereas 3, I agree that maybe it's not the strongest point. However, I do think we need something in there about relevance to changing from Cotton Bowl. So I do see some value in keeping it, just because, like Hunter said, it's not a bowl game that we've competed in the past 10 years. And I think that might be a pertinent fact in giving more, making it easier, I guess, to change, more incentive to go ahead and change it just because we haven't competed it in that bowl game in the last 10 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was part of the reason I included that one in there. So, yeah.
Rio, Zach raised his hand. He has been waiting to talk.
Okay, thank you for that. Zach, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. I wanted to bring attention to the list that the resolution would be posted and delivered to. It is a long list and not necessarily an exhaustive list, but I noticed that Dr. Jerry Strasser, who's the Executive Vice President for Finance and Operations, while he would be the head of, I guess, the executive head of that level, Mr. Peter Lang is actually the Associate Vice President for Transportation Services. So it may behoove us to include him in this letter, unless there's rationale that dictates otherwise.
Hello, thank you for that comment. So on the list of folks that it's going to, you'll see members of the TSAC there, and the individual that you mentioned chairs those meetings, so we'll make sure that it gets to him. Folks, I'm going to request that one of our senators move to bring this resolution to the floor. I'm finding that the discussion that we're having should not be held until it's brought to the floor. So kind of bent the rules a bit there. So does anybody motion to bring this resolution?
Bring the resolution to the floor.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Cool. All opposed? And any abstentions? Motion passes. It's brought on the floor. Sorry about that, Nathan. Are there any further questions or comments for this resolution that they'd like to share?
I would like to propose an amendment.
Okay, and the phrasing for that would be I move to, etc. So what is your motion, sir?
I apologize. I move to add in a additional clause to clause number 3 stating that the Cotton Bowl is not a pertinent tradition or mainstream tradition of A&M to be recognized as a bus route.
Okay, I think what we can do here is make a comment. I'm kind of a boomer with technology sometimes, so sorry about that. So you're suggesting attaching this as an entire sentence, or are you wanting to replace this entire highlighted sentence with something else?
I feel like we could rename or rewrite that sentence. Like I think that the point it's trying to make is good, but just adding on to it, stating all of the other bus routes on Texas A&M's campus have something that relates to the traditions of A&M, and Cotton Bowl is not necessarily a tradition. And I just believe that would make a good point as to why Cotton Bowl should be renamed or eliminated entirely.
So what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, we could have, whereas 3, Cotton Bowl is no longer one of the Texas A&M's bowl games as of current, and is not necessarily a tradition at Texas A&M, period, and then move on.
I would
Do you
agree
think
with
that would that suffice for what you're asking here?
Yes.
Okay. So for the Senate, just to make sure we understand here, the motion on the floor is to change whereas 3. Cotton Bowl is no longer one of Texas A&M's bowl games as of current, and is not necessarily a tradition at Texas A&M. Does anyone care to second that?
Second.
Okay, and all in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, The motion passes. Oh, wait, Nathan, go ahead.
Just for future reference, you do have to give, so Dayton got to speak, but if anybody wanted to speak before the vote, just make sure to keep that, just in case anybody had anything to say.
Yes.
I did have something. I did have something I wanted to mention, but I don't know if it's too late.
Let's have Nathan make the call on this one.
I would we've already voted, unfortunately. Okay. I should have stepped in a little quicker. I apologize.
Could I speak maybe on it? I did want to say in the resolution, it wasn't necessarily a tradition because like the hockey team just played and they called it the Cotton Bowl where they played UT, and that was just in December of 19, and they called it the Cotton Bowl. And I think they do it pretty often. So I didn't want to say it wasn't necessarily a tradition because like I kind of said earlier, I don't want to say Cotton Bowl is like not something that we participate in or it's not a current tradition. It's just not, we haven't played in a football game that's called the bowl game in a while. That's kind of what I was saying.
Guys, can I share something with y'all?
Sure, and we also don't want this meeting to go over, so we are going to move on from this shortly.
I understand, but as of September 27th, Texas A&M was considered to be a potential in the Cotton Bowl, playing Penn State, according to one of the football pundits. I really think it would be better just to remove that statement.
So we haven't voted on passing this resolution yet. Nathan, do you have anything you care to say about how we've been going about this before we respond to that?
Yeah, just so for people who are interested in speaking, remember, use like the Alt-Y function, and then you have to wait for Rio to call on you before you speak. You have to be recognized by the chair. And remember, if you're asked, remember you can use point of information to get more questions for like Hunter about the motion. And then remember at this point we're at the main motion. So if we had the amendment, it was passed, then we're back down to the main motion and we're discussing the main motion again. And then when at time's ready, Rio will call for the vote and we'll do the voting portion.
So Kim, thank you for sharing that bit about the likelihood of us contending in that game, I guess. I didn't know much about that. Well, let's see. Does anybody else want to say anything about this resolution or about what Kim just brought up? You're welcome to Alt-Y and I will call on you. Okay, Jayton.
You said Jayton, right?
I did, yes.
Okay, sorry. So yes, following Kim's statement, that is entirely true. A&M last played in the Cotton Bowl in 2013, and just depending on where we are in the rankings, we could potentially go back into it again. But I do agree with Kim that the clause itself, that first statement, is just kind of not warranted in this resolution. But other than that, that's all that I have to really say regarding the Cotton Bowl and its importance in football context for Texas A&M.
Thank you, Jayton. Whoever raised their hand second after Jayton did, you're welcome to chime in.
It was Zach. It looks like Zach, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Zach, you have the floor.
Yes, I couldn't remember what you'd spoken to after I made my mention, but if necessary, I move to add a name to the list of individuals that this resolution would be delivered to include Mr. Peter Lang, the chairman for the Transportation Services Advisory Committee.
Okay, does anybody second that?
Second.
Okay, and Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong, we could discuss before we bring this to a vote.
If anyone needs to speak. And remember the wording for an amendment is, I move that this motion be amended by, then state your amendment.
Okay. So again, yeah, he is in the TSEC, so he will get a copy of this. And I'm going to present it to the meeting tomorrow to Peter Lang and the rest of them. But if you all want to add it in, we can. So we can bring the amendment to a vote to adding Peter Lang's name onto the list under Let It Be Resolved 2. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? And abstentions?
Aye.
Thanks, Kim. So the movement passed. The motion passes. We're going to add Mr. Peter Lang. I forget if it's Mr. or Dr., but I'll make a comment on that.
I believe
so
it
something.
Is, I believe it is Mr. Peter Lang.
Okay. And I will do that after this meeting.
Pending the language on that last amendment, I move to bring this resolution to a vote.
Okay, does anybody second that?
I second that.
Okay, thank you, Jed. Discussion before we call this to a vote?
Rio, it looks like there's people with their hands raised.
Yes, and I'm not able to see them, so
okay,
please,
McKenna?
Next, yeah.
Nate, can I make discussion back on whereas in terms of an amendment, or is that not allowed?
We've already moved to vote. Discussions. We've moved
discussion to vote. Okay.
There's no discussion to vote. We're just at the point we vote on the resolution.
Okay. Anyone else who raised their hand?
Jaden, you still have your hand raised, or was that just from before, or?
I guess that was just from before.
Okay, so now I have Ronnie.
Yeah, so actually, I'm not sure because right now we are in the voting stage, right? So I think I have a question about the resolution, like in a general. So I don't think it's appropriate at this time.
You could ask it if you'd like.
So I mean, I'm not sure if any specific reason why we will need to change the bus route number 36, or my question might be, is there any other bus route that have a less meaningful name that we can just propose to change to these Matthew Gaines name, and that might be less conflicting? I'm not sure.
No. So that is a great question, but this is related to what was in the letter that was sent by the Transportation Services Advisory Committee. Bus Route 36, the Cotton Bowl route, was the one that was named. I'm being told by the parliamentarian that it's time to vote on this matter, so we will move on. All in favor of approving this resolution as read, please say aye.
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 Sound like a resounding yes. All opposed?
Nay.
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 And abstentions?
I abstain.
Okay. Bang, bang. The ayes have it. The resolution passes, and it will be sent out in an email after this meeting. We're just going to have two quick announcements, and then we will adjourn. If you wanted to request teaching modifications for next semester, the link to the form to do so is there, and that will send that information to OGAPS. If you already submitted the form, it was probably just for the fall semester, so resubmit it. Next, there's a domestic violence shelter through Twin City Mission called Phoebe's Home that is hiring part-time folks to work there. Duties would include working the crisis hotline and helping shelter clients. Just send your resume to that person listed there, and they will get you more information. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? And abstentions? Ayes have it, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for your time tonight. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
You.
Yeah. Kitty, how do you even